Thanks for tuning in to this week's news recap. Terra must face subpoenas and investigations from SEC and Korean authorities. Bloomberg reported Thursday that the SEC is investigating the marketing claims behind Terra USD, aka UST, the now defunct algorithmic stablecoin that collapsed last month. According to Bloomberg sources, the SEC will be attempting to determine whether UST marketing violated several federal U.S. investor protection laws. Terraform Labs said it was unaware of SEC action related to UST marketing, and the SEC has declined to comment. Also this week, court documents published by the U.S. Second Circuit on June 8th made clear that Terraform Labs and its co-founder Do Kwon will be required to comply with SEC subpoenas related to the ongoing investigation of Terra's Mirror protocol. Kwon had initially been served with a subpoena in this investigation upon his arrival at Messari's mainnet conference in New York in September 2021, where he was a speaker. At the time, Terraform Labs argued that the SEC lacked jurisdiction over the entity due to Terraform's lack of sufficient contacts with the U.S. It also argued that the SEC violated its own rules of practice when it served the subpoena by handing a copy to Kwon in person. Despite Terra's lawyering, the court ruled that the SEC was in line with its own rules and did have jurisdiction in the case because Terraform Labs had U.S. employees and had previously stated that 15% of its users resided in the country. Investigations are also ongoing in Korea. According to the Financial Times, the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency said it was looking into allegations that employees of Terraform Labs embezzled an undisclosed amount of the organization's Bitcoin holdings. Those holdings had allegedly been loaned to market makers to help buttress the UST peg last month, but there has been no independent verification that the funds were used according to their stated purpose. Ropsten merges successfully. Wednesday morning, Ethereum's Ropsten testnet, the largest of its 3 testnets, completed the protocol's first successful public merge of an active test network. Ethereum's other 2 testnets, Goerli and Sepolia, are expected to merge as well in the coming months. In the proposed merge of the Ethereum mainnet to be enacted Q3 or Q4 of 2022, the existing economic activity on the proof-of-work chain will be merged into the proof-of-stake chain currently being run on the Beacon chain, with a set of independent validators each staking 32 ETH. While Ropsten's successful dress rehearsal bodes well for the technical aspects of the merge, concerns are building about the centralization of staking, both in terms of software clients running the network, as well as staking as a service providers. For example, the Prism client holds a 2/3 market share in the validator set for Ethereum's Beacon chain, which is worrying, because if Prism had a bug, it could cause a consensus failure on the network. Additionally, staking services contribute to this centralization. More than 1/3 of all validators are controlled by staking services, of which Lido is far and away a leader, and a significant portion of the rest are operated by centralized exchanges. OP tokens stolen on back of Wintermute Mixup. 20 million of the new OP tokens from Optimism were stolen due to a mistake made by Optimism's market-making partner, Wintermute. Optimism provided the tokens to Wintermute in the form of a loan. Unfortunately for Wintermute, the address they had supplied and confirmed to the Optimism team was an Ethereum wallet that did not have proper support for Layer 2 chains. An adversarial actor took possession of the 20 million OP tokens that had been sent to the defunct address. Optimism and Wintermute both published statements on the matter. Wintermute has taken full responsibility for the attack and promised to buy tokens on the open market to counteract any sales by the attacker and to make the protocol whole. Wintermute also promised to pursue legal recourse against the attacker provided the tokens are not returned within the next week. If they are returned, a gig is in the offing. Wintermute described the adversary's actions as rather impressive and offered an opportunity for consulting work. Kane Warwick, founder and CEO of Optimism-based derivatives liquidity protocol Synthetics, wrote in a tweet thread Wednesday, "Seeing the funds in your address is not sufficient as a test. The correct way to test a transaction is to ensure you can move the received tokens, but like 0% of people do this. My conclusion after years of watching this stuff happen is that it's not possible to avoid every mistake, but communicating them transparently and quickly is the optimal approach. Binance faces increased scrutiny. A number of developments this week increased scrutiny of Binance by regulators and law enforcement in the United States. Bloomberg broke a story about an SEC investigation into the initial coin offering, or ICO, of BNB, a token with a nearly $50 billion market cap. The BNB ICO occurred in 2017. 100 million tokens were sold to the public for $15 million. The firm has recently backed away from its initial promise to use 20% of the exchange's profits to buy back the token each quarter. Changpeng Zhao, founder and CEO of Binance, claimed in a 2020 blog post that the decision was a result of legal advice, so as not to classify BNB as a security, according to Bloomberg. Also this week, Reuters released an investigative report on how Binance became a hub for hackers, fraudsters, and drug dealers to the tune of $2.35 billion. The report caused a stir in the community. Binance responded in a blog post by publishing a portion of its email correspondence with Reuters. In related news, Binance received regulatory permission for the opening of regional European headquarters in Paris this week, after 18 months of work with French regulators. The exchange has agreed to invest $100 million in France to advance crypto technology and donate $2 million for the restoration of a room in the Chateau Versailles. Crypto adoption highlights. First, PayPal finally enabled crypto withdrawals from its platforms to self-hosted wallets or addresses. This move comes by popular demand from PayPal's users. Next, Grayscale is also pushing forward seriously with its effort to convert the GBTC trust into an ETF. The firm has retained Donald B. Verrilli, an Obama-era Solicitor General, to buttress its legal team as the clock ticks on the final month before a response is due from the SEC on Grayscale's application. The GBTC to BTC discount currently sits at nearly 30%, according to the block's crypto data. Finally, a new crypto exchange is coming from TradFi, thanks to plans by Citadel and Virtu. Yooka Labs' Discord is compromised. On June 4th, last Friday, the Discord server of Yooka Labs was hacked. A participant obtained the login credentials of a senior community manager and absconded with keys controlling approximately 32 NFTs, including one BAYC NFT, according to crypto security research firm PeckShield. The attack was first publicized by Twitter user NFT Herder. Yooka did not confirm the hack until 11 hours after the initial tweet from NFT Herder. This was the second time in less than 10 months that Yooka Labs has been compromised. On April 26, 2022, Yooka Labs disclosed a $2.6 million loss in a phishing attack related to an intruder accessing its Instagram account. When BAYC founder Gordon Goner responded to the incident, he blamed Discord, saying, "Discord isn't working for Web3 communities. We need a better platform that puts security first." However, Stephen Fink of Nounsdown tweeted that it's users' faults for clicking on phishing links. You didn't lose your NFT because you used Discord. You lost your NFT because you signed a malicious transaction with your key. Yooka Labs recently raised $450 million in venture funding in a seed round entailing a monster valuation. Osmosis Bug and a temporary lapse in Judgement. The Osmosis DEX was compromised on Thursday after a bug was found that allowed users to increase their position sizes without adding capital through the deposit and withdrawal of funds. An official post from the Osmosis team stated, "Liquidity pools were not completely drained. Devs are fixing the bug, scoping the size of losses, likely in the range of roughly $5 million, and working on recovery." On-chain activity and validators were paused upon discovery of the vulnerability, but not before $5 million was lost. One culprit was the Firestake validation pool, which reported that it had taken $2 million from the protocol during a temporary lapse of good judgment. Representatives from the pool said, "We were thinking about our family's future and not the future of our community." Osmosis remains non-functional as of the time of this recording. Time for fun bits. Neal Stephenson, inventor of the term Metaverse, gets his own. Science fiction author Neal Stephenson coined the term Metaverse in his 1993 science fiction novel Snow Crash. Now he's partnering with crypto OG Peter Vestinis to create a metaverse project called Lamina 1. Lamina 1 will have a focus on virtual reality and augmented reality integrations. The ultimate goal is to create a 3D metaverse based on Snow Crash. Testnet and mainnet implementations are intended to be released later this year. Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey fund financial literacy school at Brooklyn Project. Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey are teaming up to launch a financial literacy program in the Marcy Houses, a Brooklyn public housing project where Jay-Z grew up. The program will offer classes such as what is money, what is cryptocurrency, what is blockchain, and how to keep yourself safe from scammers. Participants will receive a MiFi device, a smartphone, and data plan setup that they will be able to keep after the conclusion of the class. The curriculum has been developed by Black Bitcoin billionaire and crypto blockchain plug, with an eye toward reducing barriers and improving access to Bitcoin and to finance in general. Thanks so much for joining us today. To learn more about Lewis and the Lummis and Gillibrand bill, check out the show notes for this episode. Synthetics founder Kane Warwick is launching his next mentor program, and I'm excited to select one of the projects from my community. If you're a female founder working on L2s who'd love to be supported by a DeFi pioneer, send an email to hello@unchainedpodcast.com with the subject line Kane Mentorship. Mentees will get one-on-one time with Kane, plus group sessions to talk you through topics like capital raising, token design, and more. Unchained is produced by me, Laura Shin, with help from Anthony Yoon, Matt Pilchard, Mark Murdoch, Pam Majumdar, Shashank, and CLK Transcription. Thanks for listening.